Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Or hey, if you're here for the first time, let me be the first to welcome you. I am AlleyCatGTZ and today I will be going over what manga I have obtained during the month of June. So what I mean by that is usually I have a list of manga that I keep track of and I usually get it as soon as it releases. But for this video, I also want to include other manga that didn't release during the month of June and, you know, just include them. I mean, why not? Just because they didn't come out in June doesn't mean I'm not going to talk about them. Now, it's been a while since I've purchased a lot of manga, like regularly, so a lot of the manga that I talk about today will have not been purchased in June. But however, I've been getting a lot of requests for manga hauls, so, you know, hence this video. But I do hope that they'll get better and, you know, more of the mangas that I talk about in the videos will be from the actual month that I say they are. Also, one last thing to note is that I will be including my husbando's picks, his choices, you know, what he's picked up, you know, so that way you guys can see all the manga and not just what I've gotten. Though I guarantee whatever he gets, I won't have much to say on it. But either way, here we go. So first, we have Missions of Love Volume 17, released by Kodisha Comics on June 11th. So as you can see by the number I'm on, I've been following this one for a while, and if you've never heard of it, I suggest you pick it up. It's about a cell phone novelist named Yukina Himiro. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Yukina decides if she wants to satisfy her fans' need for love stories, she of course has to study it firsthand. And because she comes off as cold and strange, her chances of getting a boyfriend are very slim. However, this doesn't stop her from finding a test subject. Instead, she blackmails the most popular boy in school to be her boyfriend, and thus starts a crazy tale of romance. Personally, I love it so far, even though I haven't had a chance to read volume 16 and 17. If you are currently reading this, or, you know, maybe I have your interest piqued a little bit, then let me know down in the comments down below, because I don't hear about this series enough, and it would really be nice to know other people that actually know what the heck I'm talking about. I mean, granted, I didn't read the last two volumes, 16 and 17, because I've been kind of busy, but trust me, it's worth reading, at least in my opinion. Next, we have a manga that I thought would never get released in America. So when I was told that it was getting released, I was like, oh my god, I'm pre-ordering it. So that manga is Elfen Lied, or in German it means Elf's Song or Song of the Elves. So it was finally released by Dark Horse on June 11th, and of course we have this nice big omnibus volume, which is like 3 mangas basically in one. Now personally, I don't like omnibus volumes myself because I feel like, you know, they're just a little bit too big. Sometimes they're a little bit uncomfortable to read, you know, and personally I would just like to see like all 3, you know, just kind of like right next to each other. I mean, I guess one of the reasons why they do this is so, I don't know, I guess so it's just better, you know, like I guess because the individual volumes by themselves would be, I guess, so small that, I don't know, not really. So I don't know, they could have made them single volumes, but we got an omnibus. But anyway, it's okay, I'm not complaining because I'm just so happy that this finally released. Like, I swear to God, guys, you do not know how long I have waited for this tragic gem to be in my library. I mean, I'll explain that more later, not in this video, but I just wanted to say, because Elfen Lied is really, really great one. Also, I forgot to show you guys Missions of Love. Here it is. I actually do have it. I know, I'm not just gonna show you a picture on the screen. Actually, it's so weird holding this one because it's so skinny compared to Elfen Lied. So if somehow you don't know what Elfen Lied is, most know it as an anime that came out in 2005. The series introduced us to a species known as Diclonius, a human-like creature with 2 small horns and telekinetic invisible arms called vectors. We follow a particular Diclonii, I think that's how you say it. I'm gonna say a lot of things wrong, guys, I'm sorry. Named Lucy. The anime and the manga open up with Lucy's escape from a secluded research facility, and of course, carnage ensues, as it is clear that no one can stop her. In a last attempt to, I don't know, I guess throw her off, they try to catch her off guard and kill her. However, she survives, injured, a bit changed, and later found by 2 locals who decide to take her in. Now, a bit of warning before buying this manga. Of course, this story is full of gore, heavy themes, and some nudity. Biggest thing though is if you want to buy this manga because you saw the anime and hope it has a happy ending, it doesn't. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're only gonna set yourself up for more tears. If you are curious about Elfen Lied and want to know more about it, I will be doing a review and follow along on my channel as well as the previous manga mentioned. Anyway, on to the next one. Okay, so this one I've already had the pleasure of reading, and it's called Happy Sugar Life. So this one was released by Yen Press on May 21st this year, and it just caught my eye at my local bookstore. Like, I just looked at the cover, I looked at the back, and I was like, oh, this looks kind of creepy. So I dig it. But as soon as my husband saw me with it, he's like, oh, I know this one. And I'm like, how? It's only the first volume. Like, how do you know about it? And he's like, well, it has an anime. And I'm like, more stuff I don't know. But yeah, if you didn't know it had an anime just like I did, you know, you'll just think it's only a manga. Now that I've obtained the manga though, I think I'm just gonna read like all the manga volumes as soon as they come out, and then I'll probably watch the anime just because that's how I am. I'd like to read the manga first and then watch the anime. If you haven't heard of it like I have, it's about this strange girl who apparently lives by herself. We find out she is keeping a young girl in her apartment who she just found one day. This young girl seems to love her though, and they apparently are relatively happy. The only problem that seems to bother our protagonist Satu is having enough money for the pair to live comfortably on. From there, we see everything is not how it seems. In my opinion, a very good read, and I can't wait to do the review and follow along for this one, as I'm very curious to see how it turns out. Another good read I picked up in June was the yaoi manga titled Jackass. So this manga right here was released by Sublime on October 10th, 2017. So a while ago. Even if you're not into this genre, you can't deny the sublime pacing, their character development, and the natural way the romance just happens. It's one of those manga that really deserves praise because of how well it does what it does within a short period of time it has, which is only 1 volume. Yeah, that's right. This is only 1 volume. I know, very good stories like this are never long enough, and it sucks. To To say a little bit about it, the main character, Keisuke, finds himself in an awkward situation when he accidentally wears his old sister's pantyhose to gym class. How does one accidentally wear pantyhose, you ask? Well, when your sister sleeps in your gym pants and takes off both the hose and the pants, leaving them in the poor brother's garment to find later. Thankfully, his best friend Masayuki saves him the embarrassment of everyone finding out. However, as they laugh it off in the nurse's office, something strange occurs. The sight of Keisuke's legs in pantyhose triggers something in Masayuki. Weird feelings and confusion ensue as the two best friends struggle to find out what this means. A truly great romantic comedy that I'm sure anyone can appreciate. Next in my haul is Shield Hero Volume 7, released by One Piece Books on November 14th, 2017. Now, unfortunately, I'm not caught up with the series, but I, of course, am still buying it. But this is a really great addition to anybody's library. Of course, it's a great addition to mine, to yours, whoever's. But if you know nothing about Shield Hero, well, most people know it by its anime. Its anime is currently running and getting glowing reviews. Why? I think most would say that MC, the main character, Nofumi, is unlike other MCs. He seems more real, has more backbone, and is not overpowered, at least not right now. He's transferred to another world, happy at first because he's supposed to be a legendary hero, only to find out he's the weakest hero. This, of course, puts him in a not so pleasant position, and he quickly finds that the world that he's in isn't as great as he thought, making the tale of this frustrated hero very interesting. I highly recommend it, and if the Discord puts enough votes into it, I think I'm going to have it as a prize in my next giveaway, which should be happening soon. The next series is another one I'm way behind on, but I'm still buying it. And that one is Attack on Titan Volume 27, released by Kodansha Comics on April 9th, 2019. Now, I can't say much about this one, unfortunately, because I am so far behind, but something I can say is that I really do like the art style. If you haven't actually read the manga and if you only watched the anime, I personally would say start reading the manga because I love the drawing style, and I know a lot of people think it's probably crappy, but for me, I think it's the same as, you know, music in an anime, where it just kind of sets the tone for just being so hopeless and gritty. So it's, I don't know, for me personally, I enjoy reading the manga. You know, that's how I got into Attack on Titan, is I read the manga first, and then eventually I was there when the anime first started coming out, and I was like, oh snap, it's becoming an anime. So, and I think it's still running right now, the anime is, but I don't know, because I am trying to avoid spoilers so hard it's not even funny. So this is one I need to get caught up with, and very quickly. If by some freak accident you don't know this manga, give it a try. You won't regret it. Things to note is it is set in a dystopian setting with plenty of gore and hopelessness. If you don't like those things, then I don't suggest reading it, but it is a good edge of your seat kind of story. Other than that, I won't say any more because I think the less you know, the better. Okay, so the last 3 mangas that I picked up, one being my husband's, are as follows. So the first one is Snow White, right? Snow White with the red hair, released by Viz on May 7th, 2019. the ideal sponger life, or however the heck you say this. Like, me and my husband were debating how the heck you say this. Sponger life. I think that's how you say it. It was released by 7 Seas this year on March 12th. So, you know, still this year, not June, but still this year. And then lastly, we have my husband's pick, Monster. So again, I didn't buy it, but he did. Volume 3, which is also by 7 Seas, released on November 28th, 2017. So I will go over all 3 of these a little bit, but other than that, I don't really know much about all of them, simply because, well, one of them is the husband's, and the other 2 I just kind of took a chance on. So first, we're gonna start with this manga. Now, the reason why I picked it up is, I'm not gonna lie, you know, it does have some etchiness in it, you know, obviously from the cover, but it's like etchiness in the sense of that, like, I guess his wife is the only one who's gonna be ecchi. But besides the etchiness, I did like the concept of this manga. Also, I did see a video, I think it was a first impressions video or something, by a fellow YouTuber called Otaku Mike. So if you're interested in his videos, then go ahead and check him out. Basically, it's about a guy who gets transferred to another world. Beautiful queen asks for his hand in marriage in exchange for no internet, no connection with his family, and no going back to Earth in general. I'd like to see how that plays out. I mean, would you give up the internet? Then we have the red-headed Snow White dealing with her own romantic problems. Instead of a queen, a prince demands her love. However, she doesn't seem that into it. Escaping into the woods, she apparently comes across yet another male plus his friends. They seem friendly enough, but it still begs the question, who are these people and why are they in the woods? Honestly, I mostly got this one because my husband said it was really good, and it was another manga that I didn't know had an anime, which Wiki says came out in 2015. Let me know in the comments if you've heard of this one and think I'm in for a good read. Lastly, we have the husband's choice, Monster. Monster is a rise to power story about this goblin named Gabaru. He seems to gain power by eating things, and thus his journey goes on. Of course, my husband Tristan seems to think I won't like this story simply because of the harem element. He says Gabaru actually has a true harem, and you get to see how that develops throughout the story. Now, I can't confirm if I'd like it or not, but all I know is sometimes harems can be annoying. However, that shouldn't completely stop me from reading it. If the story's good, the story's good, right? I mean, I don't know if I'll ever read it, but if I do, who knows? I might actually like it. And of course, no spoilers for any titles mentioned today. At least put a warning if you are. At last, that concludes my January manga haul. So if there are any that have caught your eye, let me know. If there are any you want me to do, a review for or follow along for, of course, let me know that too. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and also if you want to keep up with me, my projects, you know, the community, the little community that I have right now. Of course, you can join on the Discord. The link will be down below. One last thing, if you wish to support this channel and more so I can keep bringing you guys awesome content, a link for my Patreon is in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I will see you lovely people in the next one. Bye!